Say Shana, Africa, say it louder. Say Shana. Salam alaikum, salam alaikum, salam alaikum, salam alaikum, salam alaikum, salam alaikum, salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
United we stand, divided we fall. All we need is freedom. All we need is love. Free Africans free. Free Africans free.
Free from slavery. Free from slavery. Free yourself from mental slavery. Free yourself from mental slavery. Free yourself from mental slavery. Free from slavery. Free from slavery. Yeah.
We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war. We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war. We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war.
Salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, African one. If you wanna be free, the most simplest one in the world. Get yourself the bag of really reggae music coming straight to you from the one of the most peaceful man. So many lying down on the streets, whatever them with their guns in the hands. Get yourself the most free time I preach about freedom. Preach about freedom.
We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war. We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war. We're here to speak the word.
All right, good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you tune in today. It is Saturday, April 1st, 2023. As we promised you, viewers of Concerned Citizen of South Sudan, that actually we are going to continue explaining, evaluating, revitalize peace agreement. And actually today is the final day of doing that. So I'll be going with you over chapter 7 and chapter 8, which is the last two chapters of Revitalized Peace Agreement. There is no a lot of materials on both chapter 7 and 8. ما في مواضيع كثيرة فيه ولكن احنا أردنا إنه نكمل. نقطة تانية that I wanted to remind you, one of the reasons the United Citizens for Change took a stand to explain these chapters on Revitalized Peace Agreement, it's not because that actually Revitalized Peace Agreement has been implemented or it's something that we are so proud to explain to the people, but we want our people to know the agreement that was signed. We want to let our people know which part that has not been implemented, which is, we know 90% of that peace agreement is not being implemented. Because also many people, they don't read this. They haven't read it, and they have no clue. And sometimes when there is a debate, people tend to get out. People tend not to understand what they are talking about. So we felt, in our organization that actually it is our obligation. It is our obligation as a member of Concerned Citizen of South Sudan, of United Citizen for Change, so we can explain it to the public. We know peace agreement has not been implemented, and President Kiir has said this numerous times that he's not interested actually, and he said it was designed not to be implemented, despite the fact that actually he was one of the people that actually, adored this, and he was so happy with it. But it seemed, which is, we have talked to you many times, that actually the government in Juba, the government that actually believe in extensions, not in elections, they have been living on extension for a very long time. South dialogue, and you know what I'm talking about, since we were Southern Sudan, and then we became the Republic of South Sudan. The deal was signed actually from tactical point, not from a strategic point. It was signed just to divide the cake. It was signed just to divide the power sharing. The agreement was not signed to lift the South Sudanese people from, the situation, the suffering that they have been for a very long time. It wasn't the strategy, because we have already heard, from the head of state, since he was in Addis Ababa talking about this. What is my incentive, to leave the power to the people of South Sudan? So these are the reasons that actually we are explaining it to you. We are explaining to our audience, and other people actually who have no opportunity to read, so they can hear. يقدر يسمعوا ويقدر يعرف البنود الموجودة في Revitalised. والمعلوم إنه you can hear when we do it in English, بيقولوا Revitalised. Everything with R, it starts with R. Even the JMAC, it starts with R JMAC. This is because الاتفاقية ماتت, and then تم إحياء. So this is Revitalised, تنشيطه, لأن الاتفاقية أصلا الأصلي وقع في 2015 ومات بأحداث J1 2016 جولاي, dog fight المعروفة. So with that, I welcome all of you to this very important day today, April 1st, 2023. Dengit, I do see you on the Clubhouse, but before I start, actually, جانا نيوز قبل شوية بيقول قال سلفا كير هو مات. هل عندك معلومة عن صحة الكلام ده؟ في معلومة جاتني قبل شوية، يعني قال الرئيس الفكير يعني توفاه المنية، فهل عندك أي معلومة حول الموضوع ده؟
السلام عليكم أخي جون كورميون. تحية لك وتحية للمشاهدين والمستمعين وسعداء أن نكون هنا. فيما يتعلق بالخبر اللي قلته، أنا لم أتلقى أي خبر زي كده يعني، فلا أستبعد أنه يكون شائع. أنا ما عندي معلومة. الحاجات زي ده لما تتقال الناس تتابع أو تنتظر تشوف.
اوكي، اشكرك كل الشكر يا استاذ دنجد. نحن نتابع عشان نتاكد هل الكلام ده صحيح ولا مجرد كلام ساكت. actually fortunately استاذ دنجد ايوك ده كانت اكذوبه بتاعت ابريل، اكذوبه بتاعت شهر ابريل المعروف، واليوم يصادف يوم 1 شهر 4 2023. طبعا نحن ما تتمنى اي اذى لاي زول، ولكن في بعض الأحيان we need something good to happen to our country in order to get out of this mess. So دي كان April Fool أستاذ دنجد.
أنا من الناس اللي ما بشتغل كثير بما يسمى ابريل فول ولا هو كذوبة ابريل. انا ما بشتغل به كثير، ولكن في بعض الناس ممكن يلجوا لانه يتكلموا في حاجات زي ده. anyway ده كذوبة ابريل زي ما انت قلت.
Okay. Well, thank you, Saldengit. And we continue. And I want to invite our viewers to go ahead and share our live broadcast here on Facebook and also on YouTube and Clubhouse. Please go ahead and share. So many South Sudanese who are not here with us would be able, to get it and be part of the discussion today. Let me go ahead. Please share it and share it to your friends, share it on YouTube, share it on Facebook, share it on YouTube, Twitter, and share it in every groups so we can get others to come, and participate with us today. And also, I want to remind you, actually, the concerned citizen of South Sudan now is getting stars. So that means if you are here watching, the numbers I see there, that 25 right now, you are watching on Facebook, please, hit the star. You can support us with hitting the star, and actually that will result in huge support, because this star will translate or will be interpreted into the money, into the real money. So go ahead and hit the star, because I do see that we are a star now. We are a star page, and we are getting more stars. Please go ahead and do that. That will help this platform, so we can bring you more and more new and concerned citizens of South Sudan, things that are really pertain to our lovely country. So let's go ahead and start with the Revitalized. We are doing this. It's not because we are not aware that peace agreement has not been implemented. It has not been implemented. We are aware it has not been implemented. ولكن نريد أن تمليك الحقائق إنه الناس يقدر يعرفوا البنود بتاعت الاتفاقية. أستاذ نجد أيوك في مرات الفاتت بدينا ب chapter 1 و chapter 2, و not only that, we continue, to do the other chapters. Last week actually we did a chapter 5 and 6 together. He did both chapter. ونحن شرحنا وشرح الكثير عشان نقدر نعرف. اليوم كما وعدناكم إنه نحن نكمل, and today is the last, actually is the part 4, and part 4 actually talk about chapter 7 and chapter 8, which is at the final. And I can see this doesn't have a lot on it, but the majority of the agreement actually were considered in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and even in 6. So chapter 7, which is I am in it now, it talk about Joint Monitoring and Evaluation Commission. Joint Monitoring and Evaluation Commission, which is في اللجنة بتاعت شنو مراقبة الاتفاقية. اللجنة دي معروفة ب JMAC, which is JMEC. And now after abrogating, President Kir abrogated the اتفاقية الأول اللي هو 2015, ده بقى شنو بقى يقول عليه RJMAC, which is Revitalized Joint Monetary Evaluation Fund. So on chapter 7.1, this says, upon signing of this agreement, the Joint Monetary and Evaluation Commission, JMAC, shall be reconstituted within 15 days. And also the chapter 7.2, the membership of reconstituted JMAC shall comprise representative of the parties of this agreement, other South Sudanese stakeholders, and regional and international grantors and partners of South Sudan, as follows. So I wanted to tell you that chapter 7 actually talking about, after signing this peace agreement, بعد ما الاتفاقية دي تم توقيعها هيكون في لجنة المراقبة، واللجنة المراقبة دي اللي هو يسموها JMAC, which is Joint Monetary Evaluation Commission. اللجنة دي هيباشر عمله within 15 يوم, within 15 days فقط, within 15 days من شنو؟ مما بداية الانطلاقة. وطبعا هنا معروفه انتوا سمعتوا اللجنه دي كان بتجتمع في بعض الاحيان لما يكون في ايشوز. نحن بنسمع الرئيس اللجنه ده كان اسمه فوستي موغاي. am I right to say فوستي موغاي؟ you know ده كان الرئيس بتاع اللجنه بتاع الجيماك اللي هي مسؤوله عن joining monetary evaluation commission. عشان كده انا قلت لك go ahead.
Yeah, Festus Mugai, the professional economist and former president of Botswana, هو اللي كان رئيس بتاع جيمك لما كان اسمه جيمك.
Exactly.
الآن بعد revitalization بتاع بقى اسمه جيمك.
Yes.
زي ما أنت شرحته. The constituted joint evaluation
commission.
Joint monitoring and evaluation commission.
Yes.
حاليا الزول الوقود ده ضابط كيني اسمه تشارلز تاي جيتواي. تشارلز تاي جيتواي هو اللي بيقود اللجنه ده. he is a professional military Kenyan military officer right now. Continue.
Okay, thank you. That's the point that I wanted to clarify, and thank you, Ustaz Dengit, for jumping in and giving that. Actually, هو رئيس بتاع لجنة المونيتورينج اسمه تشارلز تواي ينتاي جتواي اللي هو ضابط الكيني ده المسؤول. طبعا chapter 7.2 the members of the reconstituted JMAC هنا chapter 7 بيتكلم عنه shall comprise of representative from the parties, from the IO, from the government, from other South Sudanese, stakeholders, which is civil society, another kind of juzu, لا يتجزأ شنو من agreement, and OPP, and SAWA, and so forth. And also the member of international grand tours, which is نحن كنا سمينا كان فينا تريكا وفي شنو إيجاد and AU. ده كله كان ناس شنو المضمين. So chapter 7 يعني بيتكلم عن اللجنة اللي كان المسؤولة تم تكوينها إنه شنو يراقب. طبعا المعروف إخوة وأخوات إنه violation ده في أيام الفاتت إننا شفنا في violation في peace agreement. violation ده this is not the first time. في أوقات كان violation بتحدث من حين لآخر IO أو other political signatory to this agreement وكانوا يعني they raise their voices. ولكن الناس اللي كان اكثر يعني مثلا اهتماما بهذا الموضوع وكان شنو كان party بتاع SPLM-IO. and SPLM-IO always when there is an issue they will always contact the IGAD, they will always contact the RGMAC because they want things to be accordingly. But unfortunately اللجان دي it's not just I wanted to talk ضدهم and داير كلام ضدهم لكن دي كان حاجه معروفه. اللجان دي كان شغلها ما كان شغل فعال. دائما الحكومه بتعمل evaluation and nothing really هم بيعمل. Either people go and have a meeting in Addis or either they go to Kenya or either they go to Khartoum and then people will come out with nothing. So this is what I wanted to explain to you about the chapter 7, the Joint Monetary and Evaluation Commission اللي هو كان مسؤول به شنو الضابط الكيني كما ذكر أستاذ دنجيت تشارلز تاي جوتواي. and also لو مشينا تحت لchapter 7.2.1 the parties of agreement 10 representative. And I don't think so there is no need to go on all this. These are technical stuff الناس كان المفروض يراقبوا للاتفاقية. حتى ولو أنا اتكلمت عن الناس ديل الممبر ديل اللي هو chapter 7.2.11 بيتكلم عن incumbent transitional government of national unity هو هيكون عندهم 5 وايضا chapter 7.2.1.2 SPLM-IO بيكون عنده 2 وسوا بيكون عنده 1 and also the former detainees عندهم 1 and other political parties which is OPP عندهم 1. اذا التوتال كله كانت كم؟ كانت 10 other South Sudanese stakeholders and adherents كانوا 3. ده بيضيف على النمبر كله كانوا شنو؟ كانوا 13. هي اللجنه شنو؟ بتاعت المراقبه بتاعت اتفاقيه السلام المنشطه. Let's go down here. Chapter 7 to 7.2.2 other South Sudanese stakeholders ده أنا طلعت عليهم. Let's say chapter 7.2.2.1 fifth base leaders which is الكنيسة برضو كان عندهم 2 representative, and women they have 2 representative, and women bloc 1, and women coalition 1, and civil society 2, and other alliances 1. So all this thing زي ما انا قلت دي اللجنه كانت تم تكوينها انه يراقب revitalized peace agreement, and unfortunately actually ما في النتيجه ذاته. حتى اللجنه بتاعتهم دي ما قدرت، ما عندها باور انه تعمل بريشر لمين؟ للسيد الرئيس سلفا كير وحكومته. كان بتحدث فايليشن من حين الاخر، واحنا ظللنا نتحدث عن ده حتى قبل فايليشن الاخير، قبل الخرق الاخير. يعني كنا بنتكلم دائما انه في فايليشن ولا بد منه انه الحكومه يعني ينظر النقطه دي، لان دي اتفاقيه اللي هي كانت قال يا اخي هي هتنفذ، ولو نفذ الاتفاقيه البلد هتستقر وجنوب السودان will see the light at the end of the tunnel. فزي ما انا قلت في مقدمه البرنامج قبل انه اساسا this government they will not, they did not sign this peace agreement just because they want to save people of South Sudan. This peace agreement was signed from tactical point in order to get out of their economic meltdown that actually هم كانوا موجودين فيه، ويقسموا كعكة ويقسموا شنو الوظائف الوزارية، ويدخلوا يجيبوا ايو ويدخلوا جوا، يدخل رياض مشار جوا، ويكون في confinement زي ما كان هو موجود في confinement في بريتوريا in South Africa. I think this is all about chapter 7. I don't see a lot here about chapter 7, and I'm gonna move here quickly to chapter 8. لأن chapter 7 زي ما أنا قلت لكم بس بيتكلم عن الموضوع بتاع AJ مع اللجنة اللي كونوا عشان يراقب، واللجنة طبعا ما كان عندها سنون، ما كان عندها أي قوة، والعكس كمان الحكومة كان always they bribe، هم كان بيعمل على شنو؟ إنه يعمل bribe للناس الموجود. حتى هيد الزول الموجود هيد بتاع قاعد اللي هو اسماعيل وايز كان نشط في قضايا بتاعت جنوب السودان في الفترات الاولى، لكن في الفترات الاخيره اصبح شبه مشلول، لان الحكومه دي طبعا هنا عارفين الدواء بتاعه المعروف انه بيعمل برايف على leaders in the region and to get them out on the spotlight, and so they cannot put more pressure on the issues. It has something to do with the leadership in the country. So with that, I think I wanted to move quickly here to go to chapter 8. And chapter 8 actually, it talks about supremacy of the agreement and procedures for amendment of the agreement. So Article 8.1, this revitalized peace agreement shall upon signature be binding on the parties, shall repeal the ARCs of 2015 and its entirety, and shall be ratified within 7 days by the Transitional National Legislature of the Republic of South Sudan and the National Liberation Council of the SPLM and SPLM-IO and the leadership organ of SOA. So of course بيتكلم على انه بعد توقيع الاتفاقيه وبعد بدل العمليه السلميه في البلد، بعد ما نزل يخش جوا كله، انه الاتفاقيه ده البارتيز اللي وقعوا عليه دي هم they will be binding. All parties they should respect it and they should implement it. They will be all binding. طبعا الكلام ده نحن ما شفناه، they will be binding. الكلام ده ما شفناه بالذات من جانب الحكومي، ما شفنا الكلام ده. Okay, all the parties and all they shall repeal, which is mean that I sued من الاتفاقية بتاعت 2015. اتفاقية 2018 و 2015 ما في فرق. بس الاتفاقية دي President Kiir abrogated. Okay, وانتوا سمعتوا الكلام اللي هو كان قالوا في جوبا معروف في 2015، وقال this agreement is not a Holy Quran or a Holy Bible. So which is mean that anytime he can violate it, anytime he can abolish it. And he did actually by ending up with the dogfight in 2016 in J1. So here الاتفاقية ده هي كمان again بيتكلم إنه لابد من الأطراف الوقع على الاتفاقية ده احترامها وتنفيذها في الأمر الواقع. ودي كلام أصلا في نهاية ما جاء شنو حدث. و also a chapter 8.1 بيتكلم عن إنه الاتفاقية لابد من تصادقها، يعني يتم تصادق على من قبل البرلمان القومي اللي هو National Legislative Assembly المكونة من 550 وكمان اسمنا Council of State و Liberation Council بتاع SPLM هو IG و SPLM IO وأيضا Leadership Oregon أبوه سوا. انتوا عارفين اطراف الاتفاقيه كثيره جدا جدا، في سوا وفي حكومه في SPLM IO وفي other political party which is OPPP. انه الممبرز البرلمان لازم تصدق على ده. حاجه النقطه الثانيه احنا بنذكرها في الاتفاقيه ده كمان في article 8.1 انه الاتفاقيه دي هي اللي هتسود من اتفاقيه 2015. ده النقطه يذكر هنا في 8.1. ومشينا ل 8.2. This revitalized agreement shall be fully incorporated into the transitional constitution of the Republic of South Sudan 2011, which is transitional Republic of South Sudan as amended, notwithstanding this process incorporated, and in event that provisions of the transitional constitutional Republic of South Sudan 2011 as amended conflicted with this agreement shall prevail. What I wanted to say here, article 8.1 بيتكلم منه agreement, the revitalized agreement shall be fully incorporated. طبعا يتم incorporated في شنو؟ في الدستور into transitional constitution الدستور القومي لجنوب السودان لسنة 2011 amended اللي هو شنو؟ التم amended. ولو في نصوص okay in event of provision of transitional constitution of South Sudan لو في نصوص that conflicts with the term of this agreement لو في نصوص بيتعارض مع الاتفاقية ده then the term of this agreement shall prevail, which is mean that لو في نصوص في constitution of South Sudan اللي هو 2011 okay and then agreement ده shall prevail. الagreement ده اللي تم توقيعها هذه shall prevail. Let me go ahead. It looked like I lost something here. Hopefully I will get it back. أنا كنت في article 8.2. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. It looked like I just lost the agreement a little bit, but I will get it back now. Okay, we are here. We are back. My apologies. All right. So لو في تعارض مع البنود بتاع الاتفاقية هو 2018 مع الدستور بتاع جنوب السودان، إذن اللي بيسود مين؟ اللي بيسود الاتفاقية اللي تم توقيعها في 2018، لأن الاتفاقية ده تعتبر في حد ذاتها هي الدستور، لأن هي الدستور اللي بيشتغل به الحكومة بتاعت شنو؟ Revitalized Transitional Government of National Unity في فترة الانتقالية اللي كان المفروض شنو؟ يكون 36 months. Okay. ده Article 8.2. Okay. And also Article 8.3 بيتكلم عن this revitalized peace agreement shall take precedence over any national legislations, any existing agreement. To the contrary, in the event that provision of this agreement, okay, this agreement shall prevail. That means هذه الاتفاقية هيكون to take precedented. يعني مثلا هيكون عنده شنو؟ عنده البايورتي، عنده الأولوية لأي over national legislations, any existing agreement، أي اتفاقيات وقع من قبل وأي اتفاقيات الموجودة. الاتفاق ده هيكون عنده الأولوية في التنفيذ، عنده الأولوية في كل حاجة. ليه؟ لأن البلد كان في الحرب طبعا، البلد كان في الحرب والبلد كان في political turmoil. Then this agreement actually ده هو كان هيكون مخرج للقضايا الموجودة في البلد، قضية بتاعت الأمن، قضية بتاعت الايكونوميك، قضية بتاعت الانفراستراكشر، قضية بتاعت الهيلث، قضية بتاعت كل القضايا الموجودة في البلد. أصلا الاتفاقية ده المفروض supposed to address. يعني الاتفاقية أصلا supposed to be for the citizen. It's not supposed to be for the leaders to divide the power and just relax and not doing anything. ونحن ما شفنا أي تغيير، معروف إن ما شفنا أي تغيير في أوساط الشعب السوداني الجنوبي منذ توقيع الاتفاقية ومنذ بدء تنفيذ الاتفاقية وإلى نهاية الاتفاقية، لأن الاتفاقية معروفة انتهت في يوم 22 شهر 12 2022. إحنا عارفين الاتفاقية دي خلاص انتهت، سوري يعني يوم 22 2023 شهر 2 مما اتفاقية انتهت. ما شفنا أي تغيير، ما في تغيير في الأمن، ما في تغيير في الاقتصاد، ما في انفراستراكشر، ما في أي حاجة. العكس، الوضع بقى متأزم زيادة ومواطنين يهاجروا من بلد. الفايلنس continue within the country. So Article 8.3 says this revitalized agreement shall take precedence over any national legislation, any existing agreement to the contrary, and this and in the event that provision of the national legislation or previously agreement conflict. كمان لو في أي تعارض لأي اتفاقيات لأي مواضيع مثلا قام عليه national legislation في البلد، bills, anything that لو في تعارض مع القوانين ومع اي حاجه الناشونال ليجيسليشن والحكومه سياسات اللي هم كانوا شغالين فيه، لو في اي تعارض بس مع البنود بتاع الاتفاقيه ده، اذا بنود الاتفاقيه الموقع دي 2018 بتسود. لان الاتفاقيه دي هي الدستور، الاتفاقيه دي هي supremacy at this time at this period اللي هو بتاع 36 months اللي هم بداوا شنو في 2018. This is Article 8.3. Also لو جينا تحت ومشينا لارتيكل 8.4 أيضا says this revitalized agreement may be amended by the parties with at least 2/3 of the members of the Council of Ministers of the revitalized transitional government of national unity and at least 2/3 of voting members of revitalized joint monetary evaluation commission, consistent to the amendment followed by the ratification by the transition national legislature according to the constitution amended procedures out in the transitional constitution of the Republic of South Sudan 2011 as amended. أيضا الارتيكل 8.4 بيتحدث إنه الأجريمنت ده may be amended. لا يعني ممكن يتم يعمل له amendment، يعني يكون في amendment فيه من قبل مين؟ من قبل البارتيز اللي هو الناس الموقعين للاتفاقية ده، but by the parties with at least وهيكون كمان at least 2/3 which is 3/4 الممبرز of the Council of State اللي هو شنو مجلس الولايات of the revitalized transitional government of national unity and also 2/3 اللي هو 3/4 of voting members of revitalized joint monetary commission اللي هنا تكلمنا قبل اللي هو المراقبة، لجنة المراقبة 2/3 من لجنة المراقبة اللي هم قبل اللي احنا تكلمنا عنه وشرحناه ونقول يا اخي العدد 13 They have to be 2/3 though. Okay, 2/3 from here, 2/3 from here, and 2/3 from here. Those are the one actually can do any amendment. يمكن هم يقعدوا ويعمل شنو؟ التغيير في الاتفاقية. Can do amendment follow by the ratification. بعد ما يحصل amended، بعد ما if they amended it هيحصل كمان عملية تصديقه في شنو؟ في البرلمان القومي. Followed by ratification of the transitional national legislature according to the constitution, amended according to the constitution بناء على دستور القومي لجنوب السودان سنة 2011 الشنو amended. I believe these are all what I can tell you from chapter 7 and chapter 8. As I said from the beginning, there is no a lot actually in chapter 7 and chapter 8. هو بيشرح بس terms، بيشرح terms of the agreement، اللجنة اللي تم تكوينها عشان يراقب الاتفاقية. Also the supremacy of agreement، اللي هو إنه الagreement ده هي اللي عنده الأولوية، هي اللي عنده القوة. أي مواضيع تانية كانت عالقة في البلد يتم تركها، لأنه لو نحن اشتغلنا مع الاتفاقية ده البلد بيمشي لقدام ويحصل عملية سلمية في البلد. That's why chapter 8 actually بيركز إنه the supremacy of this agreement in the country. But unfortunately زي ما انت شفت الحصل إن الحكومة ما كان جادة، هم ما كانوا فاضيين. They were not actually to the task. They did not care about implementation of the peace agreement. That's why happened what had happened. Violation. We still have communal violence in the country. War actually intensified even in Greater Equatoria. These are the things that had happened while there's a peace agreement actually supposed to be implemented. وأنا شرحت قبل في بداية الحلقة أنا قلت يا أخي the reason that we are explaining this agreement, we took time to come here and talk about this agreement. It's not because there is no violation. There is a violation, but there is a lot of people actually they don't know. There are a lot of people who have not read this peace agreement, and that's why we have that obligation to come and explain to people so they can be at the same page with us. They can see what government has done. This is what they have signed. They did not do this. They did not do that, and they're continuing. But we are aware that peace agreement actually has died. حتى قبل ما أن يولد، لأن إحنا شفنا 8 months even before الفترة ما قبل الانتقالية كان في تماطل. 8 months ما بدوا السكيورتي arrangement. حتى التكوين بتاع البرلمان أخذ زمن طويل، أضاف 6 شهور تانية. يعني دائما redundant، يعني there is no up speed to the task. هنا عرفنا الاتفاقية أصلا is dead. والدليل على ذلك إن الاتفاقية is dead. الحكومة دي جات لأنه عارفة ما نفذ الاتفاقية، وهم جاء they propose ما يسمى ب road map. لأن road map أساسا they talk about continuation of peace agreement, revitalized peace agreement, but that's not true. Road map actually is something new, but they are just trying to line it up. They will continue whatever they did not implement in peace agreement for the last 5 years. They said they are going to implement it. طبعا of course زول يصدق الكلام ده إلا زول ما بيعرف حكومة سلفا كير ميادين، إلا يزول ما عارف what happening. But peace agreement actually has collapsed for a very long time. National dialogue talk about it. The only way forward actually is for them to exit political life because they are not willing to work together. President Kiir أكد الكلام ده على اللسان بتاع مكويلوات 2017 وقد قال لي President Kiir will never work with Dr. Riek Machar many times, and that's why actually everything has collapsed. And not only that, now the proposed roadmap هم عمل proposal هم شغالين فيه الآن دي حاجة تانية. And that's why you see President Kiir now whenever you want to make a decision, it doesn't even go to respective parties. لأنه الagreement actually أكدت على إنه لو في أي تغيير أو تعيينات في الحكومة بيكون يتم عن طريق التشاور. الآن ما بيكون يتم عملية التشاور لأنه أساساً peace agreement is done. Like he doesn't want to tell his opponent, he doesn't want to tell the other party إنه actually peace agreement we no longer, abide by it. And that's why you see now he's firing even those who are appointing the SPLMIO, and the just living testimony was Angeline Teng, a couple of weeks ago when she was fired on her position as a defense minister, and now Rais Salva Kiir appointing Cholton Balok, the former deputy of defense minister, as a defense minister of country. Not only that, Rais Salva Kiir actually there is Sabbit Nafsu, and this he wanted to reconstruct, this failed institution, and that's why even he appointed, he fired Paul Akol-Kodid, and Paul Akol-Kodid actually the can deputy with the SPLM parties fee shown a or mobilization. He fired this dude because the differences. Then Rais Salva Kiir need people to be loyal to maximum. So if you have another opinion, or just to add your opinion and how the thing should be done, and then you are no longer, a person that he favored. So he fired that gentleman. Actually, he's very, very good guy. He stand his ground for a very long time. He fired him, and he appointed Mudir Amalu, okay, the director manager of his business, which is Bolmel, and then Maruf will be dear ARC African Resources Company بتاع رئيس Salva Kiir اللي هو شغال في construction Juba Bor Road all the way to Malakal and Rang and northern part of the country, and also شغال في Juba Bahar al-Ghazal Road. The شركة بتاع رئيس Salva Kiir طبعا هو ماسك بولميل. So he wanted to give this dude more opportunity, more closer. He appointed him as a special envoy, okay. Now he appointed him and his first secretary al-Masul بشؤون السياسية في الحزب, okay, and fired that poor guy actually who is really, really talented, is trying to do the work within the party. Why? Because if you have a third party, if you have a third opinion, and then you are no longer there. He want to tie them to him very well. So I wanted to tell you why things are going that way. Rais Salva Kiir is more authoritarian, is more authoritative, is autocratic, and that's how autocratic, operate. Yeah, autocratic, authoritarian, even something that has nothing to do with the government, Salva Kiir interfered. Let's say the SPLM party, هو حزب, yeah, if you wanted to remove someone in شؤون الحزب, you cannot even go and make it a decree in national television. لأنه أساسا supposedly SPLM supposed to be a party. Yes, they are a ruling party, but it's not supposed to be the government role تجيبه في حاجات حكومة. يعني you fire that guy, you cannot just decree him in a national television. وأنا قلت كلام ده قبل كده إنه this is how authoritarian work, because رئيس كير هو authoritarian, كل الباور في يدينه. يعني حتى ولو انت you are not under his leadership, for instance, you are not working in J1, let's say you work in the University of Juba, he can fire you there. انت ذات محاضر but he can fire you. Yes, let's say انت غفير, just simple somebody working custodian بتاع نظافة, زول نظافة. If you say something and your opinion is getting popular, your opinion become more popular, and you hear about you, yeah, Mr. Flan and Mr. Flan say, he can make a political decree to decree you, even though it's not his job. He can talk to somebody في custodian department مثلا نزل مسؤولين بنظافة وشنو هاي كده يقول يا أخي زول لك عملوا fire. No, he will not do that. He will decree you عشان أنت تعرف إنه I am the one that actually ماسك البلد ده and I can do whatever I want. He did it to look up young. He fired him because simply he has a different opinion. So with that, I hope أنا اتغطيت chapter 7 and chapter 8. زي ما وعدناكم نحن هنعمل evaluation كله في ديل. So أستاذ دينجي, I will call him in and then he can do a summary so we can finish this and then we move on. لأن في قضايا تانية نحن شنو محتاجين نناقشه في أيام ده اليوم والأيام الجاية. So أستاذ دينجي لو بتسمعني, I want to give you that opportunity. Maybe I left some stuff out if you wanted to catch up with those. And also, and put a summary from here. أستاذ دينجي. Your microphone, please, Ustaz Dengit.
Yes, good evening. According to my time zone here, Brother Jonkor, I greet you once again. I greet your viewers, and I also greet the audience on Clubhouse for tuning in to follow the last episode of our evaluation to the implementation of the Revitalised peace agreement on the resolution of the conflict in the country. This last episode is very important because we are coming here to give our final statement regarding the implementation of the agreement. We started evaluating the whole agreement chapter by chapter. And so we started with chapter 1 and chapter 2 in the first episode. Before we get into chapter 1 and chapter 2, we gave a full background on the conflict in the country. And then we went to talk about the agreement as a political mechanism for resolving the conflict which started in the country on the 15th December 2013. And then we explained chapter 1. Chapter 1 is a protocol for power sharing. It has been implemented. And we pointed out some of the things which were not implemented. We don't want to repeat them again. Chapter 2 was about security arrangement. Nothing was implemented. Then we went to chapter 3 about humanitarian assistance, and chapter 4, which is about financial arrangements, all about economic issues. Then chapter 5, which is about the hybrid code, national reconciliation, accountability, and healing. And we found that nothing was implemented. Right from chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, up to chapter 6, and today we are in chapter 7 and chapter 8. Nothing has been implemented. So our evaluation to the agreement is not a matter of just speaking because we want to speak. It is a matter of speaking because we actually want to evaluate the agreement and see whether it is implemented or not. And we made it very clear to our viewers that our methodology in evaluating the implementation of this peace agreement is based on studying the agreement and comparing the provisions of the agreement with what is taking place on the ground between the partners, and also based on the statement that are made regarding the implementation of this agreement. And that is the methodology. We are here following whatever is going on in the country. I believe that chapter 7 of the Revitalised agreement on the resolution of the conflict in the country is one of the important chapters in a special way in the agreement, because it talks about a vital institution which is tasked with the duty and responsibility of overseeing the implementation of the Revitalised peace agreement. That is the Reconstituted Joint Monitoring and Evaluation Commission, RJMIC, as you said it earlier, Brother Jonkor. Now, at the current time, this RJMIC is now led by Honorable Charles Tai Gitwai, as we said earlier, a Kenyan professional military officer who wrote several reports on the status of the implementation of the Revitalised agreement. And I have many of his reports regarding the implementation of the agreement. However, I cannot read from them because they are too long. And what came in those reports does not have much difference with what we are saying in these evaluation episodes that we started 2 weeks ago and concluding today. When the commission was called Joint Monitoring and Evaluation Commission, as we said it earlier, it was led by Honorable Festus Mugai, a professional economist and former president of Botswana. Mugai went back to his country after the war was resumed and the agreement collapsed in July 2016. You talk about the composition of the agreement, the compositions of the organic, and you put it right. You know, it is composed of the partners, the 5 partners to the agreement. The Artigunu, SPLM-AIO, and then SOA, former detainees, and OPP. Those are the South Sudanese partners to the agreement, or parties. In addition to the following institution, religious institution, women, civil society, eminent personalities, business fraternity, academia and youth, they are also represented there. You mentioned the number of their representatives, plus the regional grantors. These regional grantors are 9 in number. They are Ethiopia, Djibouti, Kenya, Somalia, Sudan, Uganda, and then there is something called the AUHLAHC. That is the African Union High Level Ad Hoc Committee. That is number 7. And then you have the African Union Commission, and then you have the IGAD Secretariat as number 9. These are called regional grantors who would monitor together with the South Sudanese the implementation of the agreement. After the regional grantors, you have also international grantors or partners. These are the People's Republic of China, 1, number 2, Norway, number 3, United Kingdom, number 4, United States of America, number 5, United Nations, and number 6, European Union. Number 7 is something called IPF. I don't know what is the abbreviation of IPF because it is written that way in the agreement. It sounds to be International Peoples or International Partners Forum or something like that. I'm not sure. I was questioning this. Why should they put it in abbreviation? They should put it fully. Because when you say IPF without writing it fully, it cannot be understood. Or maybe it was mentioned somewhere else, but I failed to catch it. Yeah, this one stands for IPF, stands for International Partners and Friends. That's why they call it IPF, International Partners and Friends.
Or International Partners Funding, who knows?
No, it is there. I look at
it is there.
Agreement. It is in 7.2.4.
Okay.
7.2.4. Yeah. International Partners and Friends of South Sudan.
Oh, yeah, I see that. It's here.
So they are, yes, that is it. That's why they put it as IPF. I think that is chapter 7. And in chapter 8, you explain it very well, Brother John Cole. It's about the supremacy of the agreement. But I want to point out, Brother John Cole, chapter 8, article 8.4.
Yes.
Can you read that?
Yes, I can.
And I will tell you how these have been used. And then we would ask a question whether chapter 7 is implemented. Okay? Whether this chapter 8, these 2 chapters are implemented. From there, I would talk about the implementation status of the agreement. And we must give a rating.
Yeah.
the percentage of the implementation of this agreement, we must give it tonight to the people. We must talk about the future of the agreement, the future of this agreement. Okay, in the next 2 years, which is this year and the next year.
Okay.
We must give those who have been following this episode the final statement regarding the implementation of the peace agreement. But before we do that, read Article 8.4. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Dengit, one more time. Article 8.4 says, this revitalized agreement may be amended by the parties with at least 2/3 of members of the Council of Ministers of the revitalized transitional government of national unity, and at least 2/3 of the voting members of the revitalized joint monitoring and evaluation commission, consistent to the amended, followed by ratification by the transitional national legislature according to constitutional amended procedures set out in the Transitional Constitution of the Republic of South Sudan, 2011, as amended. Thank you. Do you hear me, Ustaz Dengit? Dengit? Look like there is an issue with the network, but I can read it one more time.
No, there is no issue with the network. I think my screen closed, shut itself down.
Okay, but you hear me, right? You hear what I read.
That's why you can. Yes, I heard the reading. Yes.
Okay.
I'm looking here for what they call the roadmap. There is something very important I want to read out.
Yes.
From the roadmap. It's something very important regarding the implementation of Chapter 7. What they wrote there. I don't know where did I put my roadmap.
Yeah.
Hold on for a while. I'm looking for it.
Yeah, no problem.
I would get it very soon.
I can
because,
play.
You know, I have a lot of documents down here.
I wanted to play actually the what I played.
Yes, continue, please. I'll come back shortly.
Okay. I want to remind our viewers, as I said from the beginning, actually, Rais Salva Kiir, he's not interested in leaving power. He wanted to die in power, and he's not even interested to solve the chaos that he has created in the country. Because, resolving the chaos that he has created in the country, the crisis, that means stability. And stability means that people of South Sudan now will be looking forward for their future, national projects and, stability and building the nation. He is not interested because more we are in chaotic situation, more he will rule, more he will stay in the top. That's what it is. Doesn't need any justice. We talk about the Code of Hygiene last time of South Sudan. And he made it clear on the interview that given by Jeff Kunenge that actually the hybrid court is not a solution. Now, I just want you to watch something. I'm going to play 2 clips here. Makwelwe in 2017 said President Kiir will not work with Riek Machar. Okay, and that has been proven. President Kiir saying that actually, what is my incentive if I leave the power? Which is mean that does not want to leave power. He want to rule for life. He doesn't care about if he leave the power and then the country actually start a new good beginning. Then that's good incentive for him and for the people of South Sudan. He's not interested in that. Instead, when he was asked in Addis Ababa, because he has in the back of his mind actually, he wanted to rule for life. He wanted to die in power. And Kwal Manyang joke actually at the last, SPLA convention, he approved that, saying that, Mr. President, now you can rule, to the end of your life. We wanted to make sure people of South Sudan understand this. It doesn't matter what effort, it doesn't matter what peace agreement, it doesn't matter what, President Kiir will never honor anything, because honoring something that actually will bring fairness and stability is not on his playbook. No. Himself, he said, I am the president of South Sudan, and I must always be the president of South Sudan. What do you read between lines? It's clear. I must. I must always remain. Always. There's something that has no ending. Ending when he died. That would be the end. But as long as he is alive, he must always remain as the president. Let me play this. This is said it in Addis Ababa, and then has been confirmed by Kwal Manyang Joke on their convention. So listen, my friend, listen, my fellow citizen of South Sudan.
Of South Sudan, and I'm the president of South Sudan, and I must always remain in that position as the president, the leader of that country.
You hear it. I am the president of South Sudan, and I must always remain the leader of that country. Must. Let me play it again before I play the Kwal Manyang clips.
I'm the president of South Sudan, and I must always remain in that position as the president, the leader of that country.
And I must always remain on that position. I must always remain. That interview was done by Al Jazeera English in Addis Ababa. I must always remain in that position as a president. If he was really sincere doing a developmental project and no corruption and helping vulnerable people, lifting the life of South Sudanese, no one would have even bothered to say, no, get out of the power. You would have been let, to remain as a president until you die. That's no problem. People wouldn't be complaining too if there was no hardship that you created it. But because you created hardship, chaos, Lenas was suffering with death and all this thing, Mafi. There's a lot of money in the country. There's a lot of good, but you are not allowing people, to benefit from that. So, هو President Kiir أكد لكم إنه أنا رئيس جنوب السودان الجنوبي وسأكون دائما رئيسا لدولة السودان الجنوبي. سأكون دائما في ذلك المكان منصب كرئيس لدولة السودان الجنوبي. ده كلام هو قال، ده كلام في راسه من أول. كل من ينبع يأكد لنا الكلام ده. Again, اسمعوا كلام كل من ينقال في convention.
I'm back, Junko.
Okay, now, yes, I will. Give me 1 second. اسمع كلام ده كل من ينقال شنو؟
General Dr. Salva Kiir Mayardit. Our people do value the efforts you exerted in faring the country up to the level we are in. Through the challenges, right away from the death of our leader, Dr. John Garang Mabior, that was the most difficult part. Assignment given to you, left to you. Elements of the National Congress and others thought that the CPA was going to die. But you were patient enough. All the temptations that were made and efforts exerted made by the National Congress and other parties to derail the CPA. But you were patient enough and tactful enough to move your country forward, your people forward, until we reached the referendum that made South Sudan to be independent. Definitely, these are things our people, this is why our people keep on supporting the SPLM, spite of the challenges that happened 2013, 2016, and still some of our people are still in the bushes, still fighting for an unknown reason. Our people are gathered here, and they are affirming you, confirming you to continue being the leader of this country until the end of your life.
There you have it.
Confirming you to continue being the leader of this country until the end of your life.
Okay, you got it. President Kiir قال كلام ده 2017 إنه هو داير يبقى if you my brother كتب هنا and yet you're right. I must always remain as a president of that country. I will always be president of South Sudan and remain in that position as a president. كل ما نجي أكد كلام ده قال هنا we are gathered here and reconfirm that you rule to the end of your life. Regardless of what happened, people are dying, nothing happening. It's none of our business. Let them die, let them be hungry, let them be whatever. And you have seen it, President Kiir, how complicated the person. It's not even complicated. We don't even know what God he believes in. This is the truth, ya Jamaa Nagulu. We don't know. Is he a Christian? Pope came. Pope kissed his feet in Rome, and Pope came to Juba. And after Pope kissed his feet, he went to where? To Nigerian, Joshua, and went to his airplane. We don't know what he's looking for. He's looking for, here in Catholic and here with and those Joshua of Nigeria. And then later, Bany Bid Bejai, Kajajir Kazande Bejai, you have Kajajir Kaz Sudan Bejai, blessing from Nikang, everything. He has everything. We don't know what he's looking for, and he has no mercy. No mercy. People are dying every single day, and President Kiir has no mercy. He has no mercy for people of South Sudan. Do you think that kind of person will change? Anna John Correa, I'm convinced he will never change. Actually, he will cause more destruction. Let me say this. Some people may take me wrong, but sometimes it's better for one person to die than everybody to die. So we pray for peace, we pray for stability, we pray for change of heart of President Kiir. No. The only thing that we need to do, though, as the people of South Sudan, is to pray to God to take him away. That's the only thing. What else can you do? If you want to fight with him, people of South Sudan are going to suffer, people are going to die, and he doesn't care. You pray for God to change his heart, he's not, because the devil you believe in is too much. What else? Is to ask Almighty God, and to take this one away from us. That's the only thing. Rabbana Istajib. That's the only thing. Because I am with all my conviction, there will be no change as long as he's there. He will not change. He will not. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching that. So then, please, if you come back, I want to give you that opportunity to go ahead.
Yes, أنا رجعت أستاذ جونكور.
شكرا.
أنا كنت طلبت منك تقرأ المادة 8.4
نعم.
في الفصل الثامن من الاتفاقية.
ممكن نقرأه تاني لو داير.
والمادة بتقول إنه لأنه الناس نسوا ذاته. Yeah, you can repeat it.
Yeah, I can read it. Article 8.4
Go ahead.
says, this revitalized agreement may be amended by the parties with at least 2/3 of the members of the Council of Ministers of the Revitalized Transitional Government of National Unity, and at least 2/3 of the voting members of the Revitalized Joint Monetary Evaluation Commission, consistent to the amended, followed by ratification by the Transitional National Legislature according to the constitutional amended procedures set out in the Transitional Constitution of the Republic of South Sudan 2011 as amended. Go ahead, Ustaz Dengit.
شكرا. Thank you very much, brother جونكور. المادة دي يا أستاذ جونكور المادة 8.4 من الاتفاقية، دي المادة اللي استقلتها الأطراف السياسية الموقع لهذا الاتفاق عشان ما ينبور تمديد. بالعربي بيقول إنه يجوز للأطراف تعديل هذه الاتفاقية شريطة أن يوافق على تعديل ثلثي أعضاء مجلس الوزراء. ثلثاء أعضاء مجلس الوزراء في الحكومة الانتقالية المنشطة على الأقل، وعلى الأقل ثلثي الأعضاء المصوتين في لجنة الرصد والتقييم المشتركة. تليها تصديق الحالة التشريعية الوطنية الانتقالية وفقا لإجراءات التعديل الدستوري المنصوص عليها في اللي هو شنو بالإنجليزي اسمه الهيئة التشريعية القومية الانتقالية. كويس. اللي بتاع 2011 المعدل. كويس. ده الحاجة اللي جايبينها هاي اسمه خارطة الطريق.
نعم.
لأنه المادة دي بتنص على إنه يجوز تعديل الاتفاقية من قبل مجلس الوزراء بالأطراف اللي هم موقعين على الاتفاقية دي. ولذلك الجماعة دي وكيف ضيعوا الوقت وشافوا إنه زمن بتاع 36 شهر قرب ينتهي وهم ما نفذوا أي شيء، عاملين جرحبيل، مش قاعدوا في مجلس الوزراء واتفقوا على التمديد. التمديد دي حقق لهم فائدة واحدة اللي هو الفائدة بتاعت شنو؟ إطالة أمدهم في السلطة.
نعم.
لكن ما حقق للشعب حاجة. بالنسبة للشعب التمديد بتاع المعاناة، تمديد بتاع التشريد، تمديد بتاع القتل، تمديد بتاع اقتصاد ضد النساء، تمديد بتاع الخراب. كويس. وانقطاع أوتار أبنية الحياة في الأرض. ده المعنى بتاع التمديد. ونحن اليوم داعنا نعمل تمديد في منبر ده وفي منابر تانية هنا السياسية تانية، هنا قلنا ده التمديد بتاع حاجات ده كله. كويس. فالسؤال اللي بيطرح نفسه هل شابتر 7 ده نفذه؟ ده السؤال. هل شابتر 8 نفذه؟ أنا بقول شابتر 7 ده نفذه لأنه اللجنة بتاعت الرصد والتقييم المشتركة دي كونه ارجيمك.
نعم.
يتكون وبرأسه الآن ضابط عسكري كيني معروف اسمه تشارلز تاي جيتواي. هو برأس اللجنة دي وبالأطراف اللي ذكروهم دي كله جبال. لكن اللجنة دي عندها شغل حددوني في الاتفاقية. نسأل سؤال، يبقى تم التنفيذ بتاع تكوين المؤسسة دي، والمهام بتاع المؤسسة زي ما ذكرناه قبل هو مراقبة وتقييم سير تنفيذ الاتفاقية خلال الفترة الانتقالية.
نعم.
والكلام ده بيتم كيف؟ الاتفاقية أنا بقول إنه اللجنة دي بتكتب تقارير حول الخروقات، تقارير حول البطء، تقارير حول إنه منو يا ما جاد في تنفيذ الاتفاقية.
نعم.
كويس. بيسلم تقاريره لمنو؟ بعد ما يكتبهم بيسلمهم للإيجاد الجسم اللي اسمه إيجاد ده بيسلموا لهم. لكن قبل ما يودوا للإيجاد الحكومة في جوبا بدو نسخة من التقرير. بعد كده بودوه للإيجاد عشان الإيجاد بعد كده شنو؟ يقدر يضغط الحكومة في جوبا تقدر تنفذ الاتفاقية بتاعت الصراحة. الكلام ده في 7.10. الكلام اللي قاعد أقوله ده في article 7.10 بتلقى الكلام ده قاعد هناك. كويس. أما الشغل بتاع اللجنة دي واردة في article 7.3, 7.4, 7.5, 7.6, 7.7, 7.8, 7.9, 7.10, 7.11 لحد 7.14. ده كله شغل بتاع شنو؟ ارجمك. يعني بورينا هناك شغل شنو؟ الارجمك مهم جدا لانه بيراقب كل الاجسام او كل المؤسسات اللي تم انشائها وفقا لهذه الاتفاقيه.
نعم.
من ضمن المؤسسات اللي بيراقبها في article 7.7 بيقول the argemic go ahead كده اقراه سرجنكم.
7.7. Okay, give me one moment here. Yes, 7.7 says,
7.7.
yes, the RGMEC shall oversee the work of the ceasefire and transitional security arrangement monitoring and verification mechanism, the Economic and Finance Management Authority, EFMA, the Strategic Defense and Security Review Board, which is SDSRB, the National Elections Commission, NEC, and all other transitional institutions and mechanisms created by this agreement. Thank you.
Yes. شكرا لك. المادة دي واضح بورينا شغل بتاع مفوضية الرصد والتقييم المشتركة.
نعم.
بيقول لنا بالواضح انه المفوضية دي بتشرف المفوضية المشتركة المعادة تشكيلا للرصد والتقييم بيشرف على آلية بتاعت المراقبة. آلية مراقبة وقف إطلاق النار والأمن الانتقالي.
نعم.
ده واحدة من الأجسام اللي تم إنشاء بموجب الاتفاقية. هنا بالإنجليزي اسمها ceasefire and transitional security arrangement monitoring and verification mechanism.
Yes.
اللي هو بالعربي بيسموه آلية مراقبة ووقف إطلاق النار والأمن الانتقالي. ده اللجنة دي أو المفوضية دي بتراقب الجسم ده. تاني حاجة بيراقب حاجة هيئة الإدارة الاقتصادية والمالية. كويس؟ في الإنجليزي هناك اسمه the Economic and Financial Management Authority. بيراقب العمل بتاع الأجسام دي. ثالثا بيراقب حاجة اسمه مجلس الدفاع الاستراتيجي ومراجعة الأمن. كويس؟ دي أجسام تم إنشاء بموجب هذه الاتفاقية اللي هو اسمه هنا the Strategic Defense and Security Review Board. آخر حاجة من الأجسام الأربعة المذكورة هنا المفوضية الوطنية للانتخابات. بيراقب شنو؟ عملهم وجميع المؤسسات والآليات الانتقالية الأخرى التي أنشأتها هذه الاتفاقية. يبقى الشغل بتاع المفوضية دي بيراقب المؤسسات الأربعة دي الذكرون في المادة دي 7.7.
نعم.
بالإضافة إلى كل الآليات والمؤسسات التي تم إنشائها حسب هذه الاتفاقية. في الفترة اللي فاتت الارجيمك كتبت كثير من التقارير برئاسة بتاع تشارلز تاي جيتواي. والتقارير ده سلموه للحكومة في جوبا مجلس وزراء وسلموه لمجلس الوزراء بتاع اللجان بالتقييم.
نعم.
كويس. ونسخة منه بيمشي للشركاء الدوليين المراقبين الاتفاقية الدول اللي ذكرناه قبل. ناس نرويج وناس يونايتد كينجدوم والولايات المتحدة الأمريكية والأمم المتحدة. البعثة بتاع الأمم المتحدة في البلد ده كل ما يطلع التقرير من اللجنة دي بتاع أرجمك بيلقوا شنو النسخة. دول كلهم بيلقوا شنو النسخة وبيقروا. لكن السؤال اللي بيطرح نفسه بعد ما التقارير دي يمشي لهم هل في ضغط على الحكومة عشان تنفذ الاتفاقية؟ كثير من اللقاءات تم مع رئيس الجمهورية السفراء بتاع الدول المذكورة دي بالذات نرويج ويونايتد دول الترويج السفراء بتاعهم كل مرة بيقابلوا رئيس الجمهورية. حاول تنفيذ الاتفاقية وبيناشدوه إنه ينفذ الاتفاقية، برضه الاتفاقية ما ماشي. الرئيس بتاع بعثة الأمم المتحدة الموجود في البلد اسمه نيكولاس هايسم بيمشي بيقابل الرئيس كل مرة ما في مكتب بيناقش معه سير تنفيذ الاتفاقية، وده كل الجهود بتاع الضغط إنه الاتفاقية تنفذ، لأنه الناس دي هم أعضاء في المفوضية بتاع الرصد والتقييم المشتركة المعادة تنشيطها وفقا لهذه الاتفاقية.
نعم.
فوق ده كله الاتفاقية الحكومة ما قاعدة تنفذها. يبقى الدار أقول شنو؟ إنه شابتر 7 ده تم تنفيذ جزء مهم منه، إنه تم تكوين الأرجمك وجابوا له الرئيس وكل الأطراف اللي ذكروه قبل في الموارد اللي لقيناه كونوا فعليا. لكن في مقاومة للشغل بتاع شنو؟ الأرجمك. كويس؟ وحتى الأطراف الدولية لما نيجي نناقش الحكومة بالتنفيذ الحاجة في تجاهل وفي تجاهل بصورة كده باردة لتنفيذ الاتفاقية. ده كله مؤشرات بيأكد على إنه الحكومة غير جادة في تنفيذ هذه الاتفاقية، وبالتالي لم يتم تنفيذ شيء من الاتفاقية. لو في تنفيذ معناه شنو؟ كونوا المؤسسة دي اللي اسمه RGMX وجابوا له رئيس وأعضاء وبيستمتعوا بشنو؟ بالمخصصات حقهم، بيصرفوا قروشهم.
نعم.
لأنه شنو؟ أوجدوا لهم شغل يعني. أوجد they got a job. They got a job صح؟ وفروا لهم بيئة بتاعت شغل. لكن لما نكتبوا ملاحظاتهم حول تنفيذ الاتفاقية ويسلموا للرئيس واللجان والشركاء الدوليين وكده، الحكومة بتطنش. يبقى شنو؟ ما في حاجة يتنفذ. تمام؟ لأنه المهمة بتاع الجسم ده إنه يراقب تنفيذ الاتفاقية ويرفض الخروقات ويكتب تقارير، وبعد ما يرفع التقارير يكون في ناس تتدخل ويضغط الحكومة والحكومة تنفذ. ده فشل. فده حاجة ناس يعرفوا في شابتر 7. لما نيجي لشابتر 8 أنا قبل طلبت منك تقرأ المادة 8.4 من شابتر 8.
نعم.
ونحن قلنا إنه المادة دي بيدي مجلس الوزراء السلطة إنه يعدل، أو الشركاء الموقعين على الاتفاقية بدهم السلطة إنه يعدلوا الاتفاقية من خلال المجلس التشريعي. كويس؟ يعني بالعربي هنا إنه يجوز للأطراف تعديل هذه الاتفاقية. كويس؟ بثلثي أعضاء بتاع مجلس الوزراء. وذكروا قبل. عشان كده جابوا لنا اسمه حاجة اسمه رود ماب. كويس؟ أنا هسه نقرأ من رود ماب في صفحة 11 المادة 4.5. هم قالوا الكلام الآتي. سوري أنا هقرأ 1.4 بعد كده ننط ل 4.5. هم قالوا كده. The extended meeting of the presidency of 21st July 2022, which was attended by the representative of the parties to the agreement, endorsed the roadmap proposal of His Excellency President Salva Kiir Mayardit on peace transition to democratic election. إنه الاجتماع المطول للرئاسة يوم 21 شهر يوليو 2022 واللي حضرتها ممثلين بتاع الأطراف الموقعة على الاتفاقية باركت مقترح خارطة الطريق لفخامة الرئيس سلفا كير ميارديت حول شنو؟ حول فترة انتقالية سلمية وانتخابات ديمقراطية. طيب ده الكلام هم بيقولوا هنا، معناه كان في اجتماع انعقد والاجتماع ده الرئيس طرح فوقه المقترح بتاع التمديد أو المقترح بتاع تعديل الاتفاقية يوم 21 شهر 7 2022 وقعد مع كل الأطراف، وأنه كل الأطراف آمنوا على الكلام ده. طيب في 4.5 في الخارطة بتاع طريق بيقول the harmonized roadmap was resubmitted to a second extended meeting of the presidency in which Article 8.4 of the Revitalised Agreement on the resolution of the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan was evoked to approve the amendment by extending the transition period from 22nd February 2023 to 22nd February 2025, with election held in December 2024. In that regard, the extended meeting of the presidency did the following. هم بيقولوا إنه عشان ما يكون في توافق للخارطة بتاع الطريق.
Yes.
أو يكون عشان ما يكون في عملية توفيقية ما بين الخارطة بتاع الطريق اللي استلموه لرئيس الجمهورية لرئاسة بتاع الجمهورية واللي بموجبه يعني تم تعديل بتاع الاتفاقية حسب البند 8.4 من الاتفاقية. إنه ديل هم قرروا شنو؟ عملوا تعديل وقرروا تمديد بتاع الفترة الانتقالية من يوم 22 شهر فبراير 2023 لحد يوم 22 فبراير 2025، وتقام الانتخابات في شهر ديسمبر 2024. كويس؟ وقال على حسب الكلام ده الرئاسة عملت الآتي. أنا حقرأ الباقي حاجات هم كتبوا. Number 1, GAL directed the high-level standing committee of the parties to present the harmonized road map to the Council of Ministers, then to extra ordinary meeting of RJMIC, and subsequently to the Revitalized Transitional National Legislature for ratification as per the operation requirement of Article 8.4. الرئيس قام وجه أو رئاسة وجه اللجنة اللي بيسموه اللجنة الرفيعة المستوى للأحزاب الموقعة لاتفاقية بتاع السلام إنه يعملوا شنو رود ماب، والرود ماب يودوا لمجلس الوزراء، وبعد كده يعملوا شنو extraordinary meeting ينادوا لاجتماع فوق العادة أو اجتماع استثنائي بتاعت أرجمك، وبعد ما خلاص الموضوع ده يعملوا كوك في أرجمك يرفعوا للمجلس التشريعي عشان يمشي يباركوا وفقا للارتكل اللي احنا قريناه قبل اللي هو 8.4. To direct the high-level standing committee to engage the concerned ministries, institutions, and other stakeholders to ensure the timely implementation of the roadmap and report progress on a monthly basis to the presidency. يبقى بعد كده اللجنة بتاعت الأحزاب دي بتكون شنو بيقدم تقارير وبيشتغل مع المؤسسات المسؤولة دي. Direct the Minister of Finance and Planning to release funds regarding the fiscal year 2022-2023. يبقى موضوع ده داخل فوقه budget. Calls upon RGM Pegigat, AU and the parties signatory to the RRCs, all stakeholders, grantors and international partners to support the roadmap morally, politically, diplomatically and financially. آخر حاجة إنه الرئاسة بتوجه أرجمك أو بيدعو أرجمك واللقاء والاتحاد الأفريقي وكل الشركاء الموقعة على اتفاقية المنشطة لتسوية النزاع في البلاد وكل أصحاب المصلحة والضامنين والشركاء الدوليين إنه يدعموا الخارطة بتاع الطريق سياسيا وأخلاقيا ودبلوماسيا وحتى ماليا. ده الخطوات اللي اتخذتها الرئاسة بتاع الجمهورية. يبقى الشابتر 7 ده ما نفذ فوق حاجة. شابتر 8 استفادوا بس من ارتكل 8.4 ده في انهم يعملوا تمديد للحكومة حقهم، والتمديد طبعا هلوا معهم لأن ده تمديد بتاع عمرهم في السلطة. طيب سؤال ثاني بيطرح نفسه، هل شابتر 8 ده نفذوه؟ John Corey, chapter 8 is very important because chapter 8 is the seal of
the agreement.
The Revitalised peace agreement.
Yes, correct.
It is the seal of the agreement. ده ختم بتاع الاتفاقية chapter 8 ده. السؤال اللي بيطرح نفسه is it implemented؟ ده الختم. It is not implemented because the agreement is not incorporated into the constitution. الاتفاقية دي بيبقى الدستور. الكلام ده يتعمل؟
لا طبعا.
السؤال هل الاتفاقية دي بقى الدستور؟
لا.
ما في. الدستور قاعد زي ما هو. يلا الرئيس لما يصدر قرارات. كويس؟ الدستور بيقروه كأنه ده الدستور عملوه amendment. يقول إنه I President Salva Kiir Mayardit according to the powers conferred on me in Article 101 B or C. كويس؟ And in the mean according to the article conferred upon me in the transitional in the amended transitional constitution 2011 as amended. And هم قاعدين يقولوا شنو as amended. لكن الكلام ده ما amended. ده كلام ثابت في التلفزيون. ده كلام في الإعلام. It is not amended. الاتفاقية ما دخلوا في الدستور. ما بقى الدستور. كويس؟ فالتنفيذ ما تم. بالتالي نحن الآن بنتوجه إلى نقطة مهمة جدا. كويس؟ النقطة دي في اعتقادي مهمة جدا اللي هو النقطة الخاصة بأن نضع نسبة بتاع تنفيذ الاتفاقية من توقيع الليل الآن. We must come out with a very clear statement on the implementation status of the Revitalised agreement on the resolution of conflict in the country. By rating the implementation of the agreement itself. And so our rating to the implementation of the agreement is that 30% of this agreement is implemented. 30% only is implemented. The rest of 70% is not implemented. So on the 27th of January, I discussed the implementation of this agreement with a member of the IO, who is General David Bian. And he was saying that 80% of the agreement, he actually said 90% of the agreement is implemented. And I was surprised. When you brought him to this forum, he said 80%. He changed his tone from 90% to 80% of the agreement. And then he changed it again to 70% of the agreement. So this one shows that there is no credibility. So our rating is that 30% of the agreement is implemented. And that is with regard to chapter 1 only. Chapter 1 only, which is about power sharing or about the government. That's the only part which is implemented. The rest of the part are not implemented. As we have seen that the RGME is not functional. They write the reports about the status of the implementation of the agreement.
Nobody cares.
They give their reports and nobody cares. Nobody cares. And so they have been provided with a job only. An institution was created and they got their jobs. They get their salaries and they are enjoying life and that's all. But nothing is being done. So the implementation rate, ladies and gentlemen, is 30%. 30% ده النسبة بتاع التنفيذ هذه الاتفاقية يبقى واضح لكل الناس. طيب آخر حاجة نحن نتكلم فوق the future of the agreement. هسه معلوم كده لكل الناس إنه الاتفاقية دي انتهت يوم 22 شهر 2 الفات. حسب الفترة اللي وقعوا فوق. لكن قبل ما الفترة يجي الأطراف قعدوا عملوا تمديد. معناهم مدهم من يوم 22 شهر 2 2023 لحد يوم 22 شهر 2 2025. وقبل يوم 22 شهر 2 2025 هتكون في انتخابات في 2024. السؤال اللي بيطرح نفسه هل الرود ماب ده هيتم تنفيذه في الفترة بتاعت سنتين المتبقية دي اللي هي السنة دي والسنة اللي جاية؟
Of course not.
السؤال بيطرح نفسه. الإجابة لا. We don't believe that the roadmap would be implemented in the remaining 2 years, which are the year 2023 and the year 2024 up to February 2025. But we must give you logical reasons why do we think that the agreement would not
Be
the
implemented.
remaining provisions of the agreement, which have been transferred now to what is called roadmap. We must give you the reason why we think it would not be implemented. Number two, the President of the Republic, who is a signatory to this agreement, said that this agreement was not designed to be implemented. Put it aside. That's number one. Number two, he quoted Nimeri, that this agreement is neither Quran nor a Holy Bible. Right? Number
Yes.
three, he made numerous violations to the agreement. Numerous violations to the agreement were made by the president. Number four, President Salva Kiir and his SPLM IG are in the position of power, and they are undermining the agreement, they are undermining the SPLM-IO. President Kiir is behaving as if there is no peace agreement in the country, because Machar is inside his pocket. Machar and the SPLM-IO are inside his pocket. And seeing that he is now in the position of power, and that he is the man who can decide to implement the agreement or decide to violate it, the rest of the agreement would not be implemented. What they call roadmap would not be implemented in the remaining 2 years at all. So this roadmap is just an agreement between the signatories to the agreement to maintain their existence in power, and the president can he can abrogate it at any time, or he can cancel it at any time. And so this is the end of the IO, this is the end of the agreement. يعني السنتين الباقية دي يا جماعة بتمثل نهاية بتاع الاتفاقية بتاع السلام، بيمثل نهاية بتاع حركة IO حتى. كويس؟ والخروقات مستمرة. آخر خروقات ياو إقالة وزيرة الدفاع، وده مخالفة للاتفاقية وعمل فوق حلقة كاملة. شيء ثاني الشيء الثاني اللي أنا نقوله في الحتة دي مهمة جدا، إنه بعد ما أقالوا وزير الدفاع طلع قرار أول امبارح كويس عينوا نائب بتاع وزير دفاع اللي كان نائب بقي أول وزير هسه، وطلع قرار بالمثل زي ده. ثاني يوم طوالي ودوا القصر وحلفوه على طول، أدى اليمين الدستورية. معناه ده موضوع حسموه سريع. القرار طلع بالمثل زي ده صباح اليوم، الزول ده قاعد في القصر الرئاسي وبيأدي القسم أمام الرئيس. يبقى الاتفاقية ما هيتم تنفيذها خلال الفترة بتاعت الاتفاقية المتبقية دي نقطة تبقى واضح يعني لكل الناس. يبقى مستقبل بتاع الاتفاقية إنه هذه الاتفاقية ما عندها مستقبل، والاتفاقية دي انتهت تماما، والحركة بتاعت IO انتهت تماما. والزمن أثبت لنا إنه رياض مشار اللي كان طارح نفسه كقائد بتاع التغيير في جمهورية السودان الجنوبي وصل إلى مرحلة بتاع الفشل في التنفيذ بتاع الاتفاقية، وكتار من الأعضاء بتوعهم انسحبوا. آخر تقرير أنا قريته يا جمهور قال 100 وكم نفر من ال SPLM-IO عملوا الديفكشن ل SPLM-IG. الخبر ده الليلة
I know.
معناه المعسكر بتاع سلفا كير قاعد يملى بالناس من SPLM-IO. يبقى SPLM-IO سياسيا ضعيف، والزعيم بتاعه مسجون في جوبا، وبالتالي الاتفاقية دي بتشرط عادي، لأنه ما إنجيل ولا ده قرآن، لأنه الرئيس بقى يقتبس بريزيدنت جعفر النميري بتاع السودان السابق. بالتالي الاتفاقية دي ما عندها مستقبل كويس. سيناريوهات متوقع إنه الناس الآيو المتبقين دي لو بقوا زعلانين انه ما في التنفيذ بتاع الاتفاقيه هيعودوا للمربع الاول يشاكلوا ثاني. وان احنا شفناهم هنا حددوا هنا قبل اسبوعين، حددوا هنا جبناهم هنا وتكلموا وحددوا كويس. جبنا ناس الحكومه هنا، ناس الحكومه قال لا الاتفاقيه دي ما was not designed to be implemented. الممثل بتاع الحكومه يتكلم هنا.
نعم.
يبقى دي نقاط مهمه جدا ان احنا نتكلم فوقه وتبقى واضحه للناس انه الاتفاقيه لم تنفذ. ونحن عرضنا لكم بنود الاتفاقيه وعملنا فوقه تعليق وتحليل بناء على الواقع السياسي القائم في البلد الان. يبقى المواطن السوداني الجنوبي لابد يعرف انه الاتفاقيه ده زمن انتهى. سنتين اللي اتفقوا عليه ده مجرد استمرار بس في السلطه. وكير لو هيرشح نفسه هو اللي هيعلنه فايز في الانتخابات. والان في جدل المفوضيه بتاعت الانتخابات يا استاذ جونكور اللي ذكروه هنا.
نعم.
المفوضيه بتاعت الانتخابات براسه زول بتاع حكومه وهم رافضين الكونستيتيوشن بتاع الكوميشن ده. هم رافضينه. ده معناه الحكومه اللي هتشرف على الانتخابات باللجنه بتاعته وهيفوزوا عمق الرئيس وهيفوزوا الناس بتوعهم ده الثانيين لو فعلا الانتخابات تم في ديسمبر 2024. يبقى الموضوع بتاع الاتفاقيه منتهي. لحد هنا انا اسكت، وكده وصلنا رسالتنا لكل الناس فيما يتعلق بهذه الاتفاقيه وتنفيذها. مستقبل البلد خلال السنتين اللي فاتت دي المشى دي بين حاجتين، اما العوده للهرب اذا ناس SPLM بقوا زعلانين من الاتفاق ما منفذ، او قبولهم بالواقع وهم يمشوا زي ده وخلاص يكونوا ناس منضمين للدكتور الجنرال سلفا كير مياردي. والموضوع بتاع انه كانوا ناس تغيير ودنا ثوره والكلام اللي قالوه كثير ده حيكون راح كلام سائل. شكرا.
اشكرك استاذ دنجر اياك. طبعا في 2018 انا وناس ادوارد الشيخ واخرون نحن من ضمن الناس اللي كنا رفضنا انه ده is a political tactic انه يجيبوا دكتور رياض مشار من confinement, the same person that put him in confinement in South Africa, وبيدفع قروش للريجن وبيدفع قروش لإقامته الجبرية في South Africa. they are نفس الشخص اللي مشى لخرطوم وقال لك هنا نجيب رياض مشار لأنه كان عندهم economic meltdown. يعني أنتوا كنتوا عارفين إنه economy was bad, oil ما كان قاعدين يصدروه وفي arm embargo and there are so many sanctions and the government officials and in South Sudan. فسلفا كير came up with the tactic. ونحن قلنا الكلام ده، أنا شاهد على الكلام ده، الناس كثيرين شاهدة، عندنا فيديوهات ممكن ترجعوا له في فيسبوك. احنا قلنا الكلام ده إنه it's just another political dilemma. That's the deception. President Kiir is doing it with his government, but there will be no changes, there will be no implementation, there will be no peace agreement whatsoever. فسمونا نحن we are peace sabotagers. نحن كنا قاعدين نعمل sabotage ل peace agreement. I remember my good friend, Kwan Malwal was calling me that you are a peace sabotage. Why you want to sabotage? Why even you wanted to do to predict even before we start? But I tell my friend, I told him the history has proven over and over again that actually President Kiir هو ما صادق, is not man of integrity. Is playing a political hypocrisy since the beginning. And President Kiir actually does not believe in election. He does not believe in fairness. He does not believe in democratization of the political party, SPLM. And that's why he created the chaos on 2012, لما رسل الوفود بتاع SPLM في regions في ولايات عشان يعمل assessment. And they came with a result that indicate SPLM actually has failed the people of South Sudan. The good thing about people of South Sudan, they tell you in your face, you did this, you did this, you did it. They say it in 2012, Laman as Paganamo, Munaz Riek Machar, and others went to the state. They came with a very huge report, telling that we have failed. And if we have failed, we must do something. Again, people of South Sudan have spoken on the national dialogue. They made it clearly, 79 counties. What went wrong? The SPLM party, President Kiir, Riek Machar, they have failed the nation. SPLM has failed the nation. And the only way to get out of this mess is for them to exit political life. But actually, is far from the dreaming of our autocracy president, autocratic and authoritarian president Salva Kiir Mayardit, because he has planned it very well since 2005, actually, to rule this country, to rule the region of Southern Sudan that time, from 2005 to 2010. And people were hoping some hope on him, actually, giving the historical background, the sacrifices that he has made, his inteen, Nyanya One, and then liberation movement. People actually gave him a benefit of the doubt. But I would like to mention something, actually. President Kiir is someone that actually, if he doesn't like you, or if you have a disagreement with, and then he has no forgiveness, and it will be your enemy for life. And he has done it to many his colleagues within the SPLM. He did it to المثقف إدوارد لينو, القائد إدوارد لينو, اللي كان بيمشي في العواصم الغربية يدي lectures in the universities to get the funding for the SPLM. He did it to him simply because Edward Lino have said, in this country, if we have to be independent and Kiir is in charge, and we will fail, because he knew the guy since they were there together. And with that, Kiir became an enemy of Edward Lino for life. And he's enemy of people like myself, people like Nyanagok, people like others. His enemy is our enemy for life, because he does not want to hear the truth. He does not want to hear what is right. He wants to hear who can say, yes, Kiir Waye, yes, Ben Waye, That's what he does. And that's why he fired Akol Paul Kodi. That's why he fired him. That's why he fired that young man. And he brought his favorite person who listened and who administered his finance, who does the money laundry within the country, Bolman. So it was engineered, because President Kiir has made it clear in 2017 when he said that, what is my incentive? That actually he wanted to rule for life. And he wanted to spend same amount or more, same amount that he has spent in the bush fighting for justice, liberty, and prosperity. But unfortunately, that's not the case. And after the war is stopped. So now he wanted to spend 20 years, 21 years plus. And you can see, it has well planned it already, 20 years. And by 2025, President Kiir will be in power for 20 years. Because in 2005 to 2010, that's 5 years. Okay, and then 2010 to 2013, and then he started creating war, because there is no way he can remain in power after that, because in 2015, if there is an election, and then South Sudanese are going to look for a productive candidate, somebody who will take this country to the next level. So he knew it. That's why he created war from 2013 to 2015. So he can have an extension. Just watch with me. Extension there, 2013. 2015, we are in war. Just be in war for 2 years. And then after that, we have an extension, that interim period. 3 years, from 2015. Before the end interim period of the peace agreement, then he created another war in 2016. It's well planned out, because he wanted to spend more than 20 years in power. Okay? So 2015, 2016 war, again, and continue. And 2018, another agreement to give him another 3 years. 3 years, 3 years, 3 years, extensions. Okay, 2018. And 2018, signing that tactical agreement just to give him another extension and bribe the national legislative members. Do you remember when he bribed them? He gave everyone 18. Do you remember $18 million that were distributed to the member of parliament so they can shut up and just an extended interim term of President Kiir in power? And then again, here you have it, 2018 agreement that we have predicted that actually will not be implemented, and it was not. The peace agreement has failed miserably. And actually, before getting to 2018 agreement, he came up with something called the National Dialogue. That should be an alternative National Dialogue Initiative. He went to Kenya, actually, and he gave a famous speech that actually people of South Sudan, they were giving him a hard time, because he has initiated national dialogue. But people thought maybe he wanted just the way of avoiding peace agreement. Yes, but that's a way of avoiding implementation of peace agreement. Because when people of South Sudan had spoken and said that you are the problem, you and your government, you corrupt, grand corruption, and you must exit political life, then he said, no, I can't do that. And then nobody talking about the national dialogue anymore. Put it in the drawer, and he had to start having political divorce with JCE, Joint Council of Elders. And Joint Council of Elders are the permanent enemy of President Kiir, because soon you disagree with him and soon you say that, no, this is wrong, then you are the target. That's why you don't see Nas Aldo Ajodeng, Nas Bona Malwal, Nas, Joshua Dow and others. They are no longer functioning. President Kiir has silenced them. They are out. They are out of his equation. No more. But these are the very people that he used, to consult if he wanted to do something. Unfortunately, actually, Bonamolal Ring have wrote an article last night. I read that article, but I did not even understand what he wanted to. Maybe it was sent to me. It's not complete, or it's complete. I read it, but I did not understand what does he want to achieve with that article. Does he want to praise President Kiir by appointing John Tol Balok as the defense minister, or he wanted to say this guy is predictable? It was not clear at the end. So, my dear brothers and sisters, somehow we have prayed. People have tried, they fight. Better man as George Athor, Nas Young Michel, they fought, and violence was not an issue at all, because he will bribe and he will buy people in the region and he will fight you and he will bribe South Sudanese, and then you can collide and fight more. So it will never. We fought, we prayed, we asked, we consult, we did all sort of things, but are not working. But you know what? The only thing that I see will work is when we do an uprising. That will work. Because President Kiir, he has no mercy. What I read from Gibel, he has no mercy. He has no mercy. He doesn't even fear the Creator. He doesn't fear God. He does not. And that's why I said from the beginning, the only thing that left for the people of South Sudan is to go on the street and pray for God to remove him out of their way. That's the only way. God will listen. Sometimes one thing are terribly, you must pray to God. Even something that you don't wish for somebody, you wish to happen to save the 12 million or 15 million people. So 20 years, that's the aim. 21 plus, that's the aim, because he will declare himself as the winner. And you have heard it. Even the Commission of Election, he doesn't want to be reconstituted, which is, he wants to be the SPLM guy. You saw the guy, the gray guy always you see in the television, that's him. I don't even know his name. So with that, my dear brothers and sisters, I hope you benefit from this, episodes of explaining the revitalized peace agreement. We have a conviction that people of South Sudan are the only one that will make the change. No one else will make the change. It will come from the people. It will come from the people. So thank you. I would like from here to transition to Clubhouse, but before I do that, please share, give us a star on Concerned Citizen of South Sudan. If you are watching now from the Facebook, you may push that star, and that star actually will help the page earn an income. You can do that just by pushing that star, and you have ability to do that. Thank you so much for watching here on Facebook. And from now, I would like to transition to Clubhouse. Silence is a violence. Thank you.